Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So today let's talk about what the Bitcoin crash have done. In fact, ignited something very, very good. Massive buying. Yes, that's right. So let me tell you about all the frenzy that has been happening behind the scenes while most retail investors were panicking. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin is at 56.4. That's not bad. We hit 57,000 today, right? We're still slowly recovering. Not quite back to 60,000 yet, but you know what? It's still early. It's only Tuesday. We are recovering back up, and a lot of vaults are also coming back. So that's overall fantastic, right? Today, the U.S. market was actually not bad. Wasn't as good as the futures market once indicated, but it was not bad. And tomorrow's looking somewhat green right now. Okay, so as long as the U.S. market for this entire week holds and stays green, I think we'll be okay. Though the fear is if everything starts turning really red once again, right? But even in Asia, Japan had a really good update. Now it's slightly down, but overall it seems like Asia is holding as well. So I guess we'll just have to see. But here's the thing. How this relates to Bitcoin, right? Just like yesterday, or the day before yesterday. No, it was yesterday. Everyone X, everyone live chat, all the retail lettuce hands were calling for 40,000, 45,000, right? But here's the thing. Whenever you have mass panic, whenever you have a ton of people telling you that for sure we're going to see lower lows, well, that's when Bitcoin bounces up. It's never as bad as people think, right? But it's the anticipation of pain that causes people to do irrational things like panic selling. When we hit 49,000 the other day, we knew it was going to bounce back up. But because of the fear, the FUD out there, a lot of people didn't believe and decided to panic sell. And that's not the right way to do it, right? When others are calling for blood, that's when you buy. You buy the dip. And that's the point of today's session, because I'm going to show you so many people did that. In fact, okay, so many people took advantage of the dip. Here's an example. You can see the green line is Bitcoin's price. The yellow line are wallets between 10 to 1,000 Bitcoin. And you could see there's a sharp rise upwards when Bitcoin's price was going down, because that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to buy when prices are low, right? So I'm glad to see that not the whales, some are whales, but a lot are just long-term holders, right? Decided to buy the dip. That's what you're supposed to do. So that's great. Long-term holders, Bitcoin holders, that's been holding for more than 155 days. So at least like almost half of a year. Bought a ton yesterday. In fact, more yesterday than any day of this year. That's the right way to do it. Again, long-term holders understand Bitcoin is the best asset that we have. So why would you not load up on Bitcoin while it's cheap? Why would you want to FOMO at top when you can buy at bargain basement prices like what we saw just the last couple of days, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. So we got a lot of buying going on, right? This buying frenzy. Here's another one, permanent holder addresses. And this is the one I used in the thumbnail. And you could see how it's skyrocketing upwards. In fact, yesterday was the biggest accumulation day we have ever seen going back all the way to 2017. We haven't seen a spike up like that in basically forever. That's what you call a buying frenzy. I see ETS. I bought a dip, been holding for 8 years plus. So you bought in 2016. Congratulations, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So buying frenzy, of course, is happening. Obviously, BlackRock. I've been talking about BlackRock forever. Even yesterday, during the massive dumping, BlackRock's ETF had zero outflow. They only have inflows. That's why, since the beginning of this year till now, they have accumulated 344,000 Bitcoin, over $20 billion, and they continue to load up. Not selling, even on the panic days, even when the other funds are selling, Fidelity, ARK, Bitwise, everyone is selling on the bad days. Not BlackRock. BlackRock continues to hold all their Bitcoin, and you know they'll go buy more. I bet today's a massive inflow day. We won't know until tomorrow, right? They continue to buy. And of course, Mr. 100. Mr. 100 was loading up yesterday. Well, guess what? He decided to load up even more today. 1,850 Bitcoin in a single day. In a single day. He loaded up a lot in the 60s, right? Decided to take a break. Now he's loading up a ton in the 50s. Again, if you love Bitcoin towards the top, 60s, 70s, why would you not love Bitcoin in the 50s, in the low 50s? That's when you're getting a bargain, right? And that's why Mr. 100 decided to buy so much. So again, buying frenzy. That's what's happening. The world's largest Bitcoin miner increased their Bitcoin holding by 124 million in July. Marathon Digital now holds $1.1 billion of the Bitcoin, not selling. Why would you want to sell right now? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Even with the dip, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can. That's the name of the game. So when things are low, when prices are low, that's when you buy. Okay, you don't panic sell when things are low. Michael Saylor today said that U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve is a great idea. That's our Louisiana purchase moment. Of course, Saylor is the forever bull. Okay, and he called Bitcoin going to, I don't know, 10 million or 20 million or something like that. Okay, one day. I don't think what happened the last day changed anything. We had a 17%, 18%, or 30% from the top, right, dip, and I'm going to show you in a little bit. That doesn't change anything. Not for this cycle, not for any future cycles. This is perfectly normal. This is how Bitcoin works, especially after halving events. Despite having different kind of FUD every single cycle, but this is how Bitcoin operates. Here we go. What happened in 2016 leading up to 2017? This was 2 cycles ago. After the halving event, guess what? 150 days of sideways movement. Bitcoin, while going sideways, went down 35%. This was when Bitcoin was still like around $1,000. Okay? Then, guess what? It broke out of it and went up to 20,000, right? Does that look similar right now? We're after the halving event. We're not 150 days in. We're about, 3 months, a little bit less, about 70-something days. And we came down 37%. Well, is this unusual? No. We did that cycles ago, right? Does that mean that our bull run is disrupted? No. No, it does not. Because we're moving according to how we've always moved, right? After a halving event. We don't really see the exciting moments, okay, until later on this year. every single cycle, it's usually after elections. If you look at it, usually after November is when things start really moving. But nevertheless, we have so many similarities. What about last cycle in 2020? We had that nasty, nasty COVID dip, right? And guess what happened? We recovered back up, and then we went from $9,000 to $69,000, right? Look at it right now. Not identical, but pretty darn similar. We didn't have a COVID crash, but we had a recession crash, so to speak. And yeah, we'll get back up. We'll get back up to 70,000, and then that's when we finally break and continue forward, right? So we have seen many, many, many periods during previous cycles that mimic what we're going through right now, right? And had you sold or panic sold at those moments, you would regret it dearly, right? You would have regretted dearly. So don't make the same mistake, because next year we're going to see the same thing. I'm going to make the same example. Next year, I'm going to make the example. This year, anyone that sold and panic sold at 49,000, probably feeling pretty stupid, especially when Bitcoin is set to go to 200,000 according to the power law, or 263,000 according to this cup and handle pattern, and many others have called 300, 350,000. Think about how silly you would feel, or how bad you would feel, if you panic sold at 50,000 and now Bitcoin is sitting at 250,000, right? You would not feel good at all. So basically the strategy has always been the same. HODL and DCA, even with bad FUD, with bad dips and bad volatility, hey, you got to buy it. Like what I've been showing you. We have massive buying frenzy right now. These are guys that truly understand. And some of the most wealthiest people on the planet are accumulating and not selling, right? And what's going to help is, hey, Grayscale. Grayscale almost finished dumping all their ETH. I don't know why, but whenever they come out their ETF, they dump. They're still dumping Bitcoin. Most of it went to BlackRock, but they're almost done dumping their ETH. So that is also pretty positive, right? Once that's done, maybe ETH can finally rally. So a lot of great things coming up. And even this, 7 siblings, whoever they are, bought $129 million of the ETH at bottom. So it was at like $2,300. Think about it. That's instant profit, right? We're at 2,500. Whoever did that made a whole bunch of money within just a small period of time, right? And as ETH goes up, they're going to make more and more and more and more. So buying the dip or just DCAing is the ultimate strategy. You don't really need anything else. You don't need to try to outsmart the market. Continue to HODL and buy, right? Especially when things are at a discount. Hey, that's pretty much it. Got a good pump going on right now. Let's see if we could break 57 and get back to 60. We'll be back in business. We'll be back in business once we get above 60. Then kind of everything that we've been going through kind of just fades away, right? And a lot of the alts, honestly, have been gaining a lot of momentum too. For example, like Solana now, up almost 7% today, almost back to 150. You know, they were at 160. Can you believe Solana fell to like almost below 100 just a day ago? It fell to like 108 or 107 or something. That's like a 50% gain within a single day. It's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. What did Solana fall to? Look at it. It fell to 110, and it's at 150 now. That's a single day. $40 gain in a single day if you bought the dip. That's kind of nutty, right? And same thing with so many others. So that's the power of buying the dip. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I missed anything. I addressed ETS. Been holding for 8 years. Little Nicky Mozart. I sold my alts to go 90% BTC, 10% Link. Good idea. Well, it's never a bad idea to go Bitcoin. Link is not bad too, but I don't know why you would sell your other alts. Because there are some good ones. But if you want to go heavy into Bitcoin at this point, nothing wrong with that. Jose, did you see the DJ T dump? Is that Skrkelly's his meme project or something? I don't know if he just like rugged everything. All these celebrities, whatever they're doing, they're just like rugging people left and right. So yeah. Someone showed me something, but no, I didn't pay attention to it. Paper hands always lose, according to Milton Bates. That is true. Look at we're closing in at 57,000 again. Ed says I converted all Bitcoin into USDT when it went to 58.59, then rebought all back in when it's 54. Your thoughts? Good for you. Good for you. I don't know what you expect me to say. That was a stupid move. Like, if you made money, then great. But sometimes it doesn't work out. BTC dominance is banging up against resistance, could break through, but could also reject, in which alts will run. Yeah, you know, this whole thing about Bitcoin dominance and altcoin season and so forth, right? I don't think Bitcoin dominance is going to stop going up anytime soon, right? I just don't think alts will really gain their dominance until next year, probably second half of next year, towards the end. That's when true altcoin season always happens. Doesn't mean that alts can't continue to run right now, but you know, Bitcoin is led by institutions right now. They're putting in billions to trillions soon in, and that's not going to stop. Why do you think Cardano Army likes to fudge Solana nonstop on crypto Twitter? It seems like they spend more time trash talking Sol than they do talking about ADA. You know, see, that's the thing. A lot of it just looks, to be honest, insecure, right? And I've said this not just about Cardano guys, about Bitcoin maxis too. Bitcoin maxis used to complain like, "Oh, ETH is taking away from Bitcoin." So, no, it's not. No, it's not. If you truly understand what Bitcoin is, you wouldn't say anything takes away from Bitcoin, right? By complaining about other chains taking away from Bitcoin, it actually makes you look weak and insecure. Bitcoin's a big daddy. It has no threat at all, right? So it should be the same thing with Cardano or Sol guys or anyone else. If you love your project, continue to support it and say good things about it. But by attacking others, just makes you look insecure. Right? So I don't understand it, but recently I've been noticing a lot more too. A lot more of that. I don't know what it is. It's just jealousy or what? I don't know, but there's no need for that. And just because you hold Cardano doesn't mean you can't hold Sol or vice versa. It's like you don't have to be a Cardano maxi. You don't have to be a Sol maxi, right? In fact, when it comes to alts, you shouldn't be a maxi of them at all. The only maxi, I guess, if you wanted to pick one, would be Bitcoin. But like, it makes no sense to be a maxi of like Cardano or Sol or Avalanche. You should be diversified. We're closing in at 57,000. Pomp has been buying, sold too. Is that really? I've always heard he's a Bitcoin maxi, but only publicly. But he's not a maxi secretly. I've heard that for a while. I don't know if he actually came out with that. Jafonda Ward says, I held through the whole mess. I actually bought the dev at 54K. Congratulations. Awesome. Awesome. Pomp isn't a maxi. He always had that maxi like feel. Even when he was talking to Kramer, he wouldn't really talk about ETH. He was just basically talking about Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe that's changed. I don't hear a lot about Pomp these days, honestly. August 23rd, Jackson Hole is going to be huge. I'm assuming Powell's going to say something. At this point, an emergency cut seems to be on hold. So unless the markets really start tanking again, probably no need for one. But we'll see the rest of this week. Mike Smith, Logan Paul has to sue people. Now he's suing LA Knights' storyline. Why does the WWE allow this? There's no way that that's legit. He may be suing CoffeeZilla, but not LA Knights. That is just a stupid storyline or whatever. So, not that I really keep up with that. I didn't know that until you said that. It's best not to take anything in WWE too seriously, because what's the point? It's all I don't want to say fake, but it's all storyline driven, right? That's already, the outcome's already settled. So, I mean, it's like what do you call it? It's what's the term for TV for women that I forgot what it is called, but you know what I'm saying. It would be funny if they actually, the lawsuit with CoffeeZilla is just a way for him to get into WWE. That would be so brilliant and genius, but I know it's not. But imagine if that was like really the build up for him to go into WWE and wrestle Logan Paul. What was your first Lego set? The wife and I completed Bonsai Tree last night. I don't actually have that set, but I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the first Lego set, to be honest. When I started collecting Lego like a few years ago, I think I bought a modular building. No, I think the carousel. No, is it carousel or merry-go-round? I think the merry-go-round. Then I bought the carousel, and then I started buying a lot of modular buildings. Is Tim Waltz pro crypto? Actually, I have no idea. I have no idea who he is, and I have no idea if he's pro crypto. If Logan Paul fights in IFC, I'm done. Why? That would be amazing. That'll never happen. But if that did happen, that would be freaking amazing. Him or his brother or even Mike, Big Mike, or any of those guys. Any of the popular influencers, that would be amazing. I'm still having a hard time finding a few right now for the Singapore fight. Every single time we're done IFC, I'm like struggling to fill fights for the next one. It's very mentally taxing. Soap opera, that's the word I was looking for. WWE is soap opera for men, right? And I'm hearing that the scripting is better now, better than before. Are you afraid of people robbing my Lego sets? No, no. No one's gonna be breaking in my house for Lego sets. That wouldn't be worth it. Poke AK, how come you never bring up taxes when talking about the short-term gains? I don't know. No one likes to think about taxes. I don't until the end of the year. I don't think anyone does. Not something that I really think about all the time. What's your affiliate with the IFC? I'm the founder of it, but I am definitely partnered up with Karate Combat. They're the ones that make it happen. They're the league. It's their rules. Their gi. Their everything, right? But I'm the one setting up all the matches for IFC and doing the marketing and so forth. But it's tough. It's tough sometimes. It'd be crazy if the CoffeeZilla thing is just a plot to get him in WWE. There's no way he would go in, first of all, because he is tiny. I think he's like 5'4". So there's no way he's going to. I'm just saying that for fun. There's no way that's actually a real thing. Am I into exiguate? I can't pronounce that. Timepieces. No. Exquisite. That's what somehow I couldn't pronounce that. I don't know what exquisite timepieces you're talking about. Like watches or just like collectibles. I don't know which one you're talking about. Thoughts on a CAZR1? That looks amazing. It looks amazing. 1,064 horsepower, like 880 pound-feet of torque, no hybrid, pure V8, turbocharging. I don't know what the MSRP is. I'm going to assume they're going to like charge like probably 300,000 for it, maybe 250, 300, but the dealerships will like mark it up like crazy. I would get that. Not now, but maybe down the road. A lot of cars are now being like sold at below MSRP. What do you think about TrueFi? It's been having good days, almost as good as Fetch AI. Not a fan of TrueFi. WWF in the 80s and 90s were a million times better than WWE garbage now. But what about the 2000s, 2010s? George, what is your take on Kramer being bearish on all markets, including crypto? People love it when he's bearish. He's inverse. Kramer's usually right. Tyler, Karate Combat is basically UFC without all the ground game, right? So a lot of fighters in the UFC, they have no ground game. They don't know how to defend ground. They don't know how to do grappling and so forth. And quite honestly, it's pretty boring. So Karate Combat basically removed that. It's just all striking, kicking, kneeing, throwing. It's very like Muay Thai and just karate, but no grappling and no elbows. So everyone in IFC is fighting using the same rules. It's just the rounds are a little bit shorter. Lotto says, I'm a truck driver and deliver to a lot of car dealerships. They are full, no one's buying. Yeah. How do you know what the 1989 Nintendo Power Glove is? I still own mine. It's so bad. Do you know what the... I think I've seen it before. I don't remember what it is. We are not saying it's not hard work, but Karate Combat also has this series called Pit Submissions, where it's just all Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys doing Jiu-Jitsu. But I gotta say, it's the boringest part of all Karate Combat fights. There's no one cheering. It's like a chess match. I'm not saying it's easy. It's very, very technical, but there's no knockouts. There's no excitement. There's no fans cheering, nothing. It's boring. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, of course, you wouldn't say it's boring, but as a casual fight fan, yeah, I think it's boring. Greg, besides the Cybertruck, what are good places to put my profits after a bull year of 2025? I don't know why you would throw a Cybertruck in there. That's probably the worst place to put your profits in. I don't know. You could put your profits anywhere. Go buy a house, go buy a piece of land, go invest in something. Go buy a nice watch. You can do a lot with your profits. Thoughts on 3-on-3 basketball? The half court stuff? No. I think it's cringe. I think it's real cringe that they have to take it out to the half court. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, we all played 2-on-2, 3-on-3 in the black tops outside, right? I get it. But watching it like a pro league play half court 3-on-3, I think it's the cringiest thing ever. I haven't watched any of them, and I don't want to. It's just not the same. Even Olympics, they have like 2-on-2 in Olympics half court. I don't know where that came from, and they didn't invite any pro players to play either. It's just really stupid. I don't even know why they introduced half court 2-on-2 basketball in the Olympics. Lotto raised an important question. Where do you stand on Vegeta versus Goku? I think forever they will make Vegeta weaker than Goku, which sucks. But I'm really disappointed because they're not producing Super 2. I guess the comic books are out. Not comic books, the books are out. But I don't know what they're doing with Super 2. So like Vegeta with his new transformation, I forgot what it's called. He's like turning all purple and he gets stronger when he gets punched. It's like a new power level that even exceeds Ultra Instinct. But then I don't know what happens with Goku. He like has another form of Ultra Instinct or something. So like they keep getting stronger, but I don't know. Like Vegeta, I don't think that'll make him ever stronger. But I never want to see anything about Trunks or any of the other children because no one wants to see that. The series should always be focused around Goku and Vegeta, never about Trunks or Gohan or, Goten or any of the other children because no one cares. Canada basketball lost to France. Jamal Murray no showed. I really don't care. Really don't care. Ultra ego, that's what it is. That looks sick. It looks like he may be stronger than Beerus with ultra ego. Um, I think what everyone wants to see is Goku or Vegeta fight Beerus at full strength and see if they could actually beat him now. If they actually exceeded his power levels. As you could argue, Ultra Instinct, perfected Ultra Instinct, you could argue is already better than Beerus. Because I don't think Beerus have perfected Ultra Instinct. George, you sold your sports card at peak in 2022. If you bought sports cards at peak, you're down 95%. A lot of my cards have, but I got rid of most of them. I sold it all to my friend who was a big card collector, and I just kept a few, like the really rare ones, Jordan rookies or LeBron rookie autographs, stuff like that. Get the Cybertruck, best ride I've ever owned. No, 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 no. Especially after watching Whistling Diesel's reliability test. Yeah, the only thing Cybertrucks are good at is protecting itself from C4 explosions and a mob of people trying to get inside, which are useful. But everything else, horrible at towing and really bad quality and everything else that goes with it. Cybertruck is a good Costco run mobile. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it has a trunk, but Ridgeline has a trunk too. Ridgeline has a multi-action tailgate, so you can open it sideways, which makes getting to the trunk, the in-bed trunk, very easy. Cybertruck has a trunk, but it's very hard to reach because the tailgate flips down traditionally. So even that's not optimal. Went to watch Deadpool last night. Felt it kind of revived Marvel. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I don't know if they're gonna do anything else, but if they have another Avengers movie, which I know they will, and they introduce Deadpool and Wolverine in there, and hopefully they introduce some of the other X-Men like Gambit and maybe they bring back, I don't know, Xavier. I mean, technically Xavier died, but with the multiverse, they can always bring him back. I don't know how I feel about Robert Downey Jr. now being Doctor Doom. That means he can't come back as Iron Man. He's going to be playing Doctor Doom, which is kind of stupid. It seems kind of desperate. I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, Ridgeline. People hate on the Ridgeline, but Ridgeline is like a really good truck. I had a 2017 Ridgeline for 5 years. It was a great truck. For a daily driver truck, it's the most comfortable. It's actually mid-size, so people could sit in the back. The bed was big enough, and you had a really useful trunk. and a decent power, good fuel economy. It just didn't look manly. It didn't look like a real truck. And it doesn't have a loud exhaust. It doesn't have a V8. But like for a daily driver, it's really hard to beat the Ridgeline. It's actually a really good mid-sized truck. All right, guys, that is it. So the Bitcoin crash ignites massive buying frenzy. There are a lot of big money, smart money that are buying. So don't be fooled. Stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.